Little Sunday surprise, Dr. Pinesett, y'all. What is up? I'm Dr. Pinesett, I'm the study doc, and today we're talking about MCAT prep. If you are trying to improve your MCAT, this is a great video for you because one of the most commonly taught techniques that is actually sabotaging your studying is making an MCAT missed question or difficult topics list. It is sabotage and it is hurting your score and it may be contributing to the score plateau that you're experiencing now. We got into this earlier with my coaching and my students, so I want to share with you guys. If you guys are ready, if you guys are having some MCAT struggles, you have some MCAT questions, take a second right now, comment in the box, let me know, and I'll try to address as many as I can in the box. But here we go, we're gonna hit the intro and we'll get right to it. But stop making excuses, stop whining, stop, right? Get at it. No excuses, just dominate. All right, live action, guys. A surprise live stream on this Sunday. These kind of surprises are the exact reason why you need to, if you have not already, take a second and subscribe to this channel, turn on live notifications, because I love going live randomly, because I love teaching the students, right? So when a student's having an issue and we work to solve it, I like to share it with you guys. And so I'm in the moment, I want to share it. And so we're on here. Purple Donia, what up? It's been a while. I haven't talked to you so long, Shiloh. It's been only a couple minutes, right? On coaching this morning. But anyway, it's a fun Sunday for me. I don't know how you guys' Sunday's going, but we had coaching this morning. I had 3 back-to-back sessions. I had my Dominate Premed group first. I had my application boot camp, wrapping up application season. And then we closed with my studying group, the TST, studying group. And so as we were talking and studying, we talk all things studying. We laugh mostly, but then we also learn some. And one of the things we started talking about was MCAT prep. And one of the students in coaching was talking about how their score on the MCAT was currently plateauing. And they were trying to figure out, okay, listen, I feel like I'm struggling. I'm going through the same topics and I'm not improving. How many of you guys have been there, either in your classes or in your MCAT prep, where, man, I'm trying, I'm putting the effort in, I'm there, I'm in the hours, but I'm not improving. So how do we overcome that? And one of the techniques, as we were talking to the student, that he's employing is a missed questions list and a difficult topics list, okay? And I don't know about you guys, but I'm sure most of you guys are using these kind of lists because it is a very commonly taught technique that is supposed to improve your MCAT score, or we're keeping track of what we don't know and keep a spreadsheet or whatever for incorrect questions, missed questions, and so forth. But I'm here to tell you guys right off top, I'm not going to hold back the point. These lists are terrible for your studying. And the reason they're terrible for studying, before you guys get all like, oh my gosh, this is blasphemous, let me break down to you, because I never tell you guys anything without telling you why and getting into the actual science of it and the philosophy behind it and why my approach takes into consideration who you guys actually are and what you actually need to be successful. And so with these missed questions lists, the first and the biggest reason why you don't want to use these lists is the psychology of these lists. It's the psychology. Bruna, gonna start your prep tomorrow, so excited to hear this? Yes, I hope you're in my MCAT course. If you're starting tomorrow, get in my MCAT course. I got a link in the box right now. It's on special, guys, limited time. It's only $97. It's on sale right now. Get my full MCAT system in the box below right now on discount. So Bruna, I hope you have that for your MCAT prep. But the first reason we don't want to have these lists is that the psychology of these lists is awful. It's terrible. It's no good. And for any of you guys, Bruno, maybe you can talk to the group right now since you're about to start studying. For any of you guys who even thought about studying for the MCAT or who are already doing it, you guys understand that one of the biggest hurdles in the MCAT is the psychology of it, the psychological game that the MCAT, it plays tricks on you, right? It's intimidating to have to sit down and say, dang, I got to learn all this stuff. I got to take this long ass test. I do all this stuff. It's hard, right? It's difficult. So we are immediately intimidated. What would make studying more intimidating? How about writing down every single imperfection, every single mistake you make, constantly reminding yourself of how much you have to learn? And that's what these lists do, is they remind you of all your warts, all your flaws, all your failures, all your shortcomings, all that mountain you have to climb to get to the MCAT. And it's a self-defeating prophecy. We talk about, right, collecting things, writing things, manifesting our destiny. Are you manifesting mistakes? Are you putting yourself in a headspace to show yourself just how incompetent you are? Right? You like, I got enough demons already. I don't need to document these misses right here on this paper. And so the psychology of these lists is bad because it points out all your flaws. The other flawed psychological mechanism of these lists is that because the MCAT is a beast of an exam where you couldn't possibly hope to learn everything that could possibly show up on the MCAT, you're always going to miss some questions. If you're studying the MCAT right, I tell my students, go to where you're missing. Incorrect, missing questions, yes, you get excited when you miss a question. Why? Because if you're missing questions, you're probing areas that you don't know well, which means you're growing, you're creating opportunity to grow and expand your knowledge and therefore improve your score. With that being said, because there is so much stuff, you're going to constantly be missing questions. And so part of this is that we have to reframe how we look at missed questions. But when you have these lists, it makes it really hard because you're going to miss so many questions that this list will always get longer. It's like, imagine your to-do list. How many of you guys make a to-do list on a day-to-day basis? How demoralizing is it for half the day to be gone and more than half your to-do list is still there? Who has been there? Am I the only one who does that sometimes? Come on, y'all. I can't be the only procrastinator. I was like the king of all procrastinators. I used to wear that crown, wear it proudly. Like, I got nothing done today. Right? You make a to-do list, and when the list doesn't get shorter, it's demoralizing. So now imagine you go into the MCAT, you're already feeling overwhelmed, you're already feeling uncertain, and then every single day, your list of things you need to learn because you don't know it now gets longer and longer and longer and longer. What would that do to you psychologically? It makes you feel bad. So for you guys who are studying for the MCAT right now, and you live in that world of dread and terror and all that kind of stuff, look at the actions and the ways you're carrying out your studying that are contributing to that, right? Like these lists, like not getting enough sleep, like being overloaded outside the MCAT with all the other extracurriculars, all these things that contribute to making you a stressed out student. And as I'm always stressing, pun intended, on this channel, a stressed brain is a strained brain, is a drained brain, is a brain that rejects the new learning. We want to be a relaxed brain because a relaxed brain is a what? Is a receptive brain, is a retaining brain, right? That's the learning brain that we want. So we've got to relax ourselves. And if we're adding elements of our studying that make us more stressed, we're sabotaging ourselves. Does that make sense to everybody who's on here with me right now, live action? Like this video right now, comment if you understand what I'm saying. We battle self-doubts. We were talking this last week. We were talking about nope. We battle these doubts. So if you're battling doubts already, why would we have a mechanism built into our studying that's going to make us feel worse? It would be like hiring a heckler to yell at you while you took the test. Hey, you suck. Hey, you're terrible. Hey, you don't know this. It's a terrible idea. But everyone teaches you to do this because they don't understand what you're going through as a student. They just want to regurgitate, spit nonsense. Bruno, we're going to get there. If you guys just tuning in, we're talking about missed questions list. I've got 2 flashcards here. I'll show you the backs of them so I don't reveal everything. I got 2 flashcards. One of these flashcards is 3 reasons why you should not be using these lists, and the other one is 3 things you should do instead to supercharge your score. So I want you guys to hang out with me right now, like this video. If you want me to tell you, I'm not gonna leave you hanging. I'm gonna give you what you're supposed to do instead to improve your score. We're gonna talk about it all tonight. You guys know we don't do 5 minutes on here. We get at it, we learn, right? So that's the first thing. The second thing is that when you create this list, it is a built-in mechanism for you to slack off on learning. It is a built-in mechanism for you to procrastinate because this list is an opportunity to write things down that you do not know, that you have missed, that you don't understand. And so we acknowledge we don't know it, and what we do is we write it down this list to learn later. But what do we know about procrastination, guys? What do we know about our actions? If we don't do it right now, it doesn't happen. It won't happen later. So by adding it to that list, guys, we're giving ourselves an out. It's a mechanism, a built-in mechanism of procrastinating and putting off today, what could be done today, to tomorrow. Yes, yes? Does everybody understand? So instead of taking the time, if I don't know something, instead of taking the time and learning it, I'm literally building a mechanism for me to say, nah, I'm not gonna learn it today. I'm gonna learn it later. I'll come back to it and learn it later. It's problematic, guys. We want to be in the moment. We don't want to add to our procrastination, so we don't want that, okay? The third thing it does is it creates, when you make this list, it creates a long, long list of items that are disparate, that are different, that are segmented, that are disorganized concepts. And one of the most important things, if you guys didn't see, I did an interview last year with the Swedish memory champion, and we talked about if you want to memorize large volumes of material, we talked for like an hour and a half. And we talked about one of the key aspects to having a better memory, to retaining more and be able to memorize long lists and long amounts of things like you have to do in the MCAT, is creating a really strong organizational structure. Okay? One of the most common terms we hear for this, look at my eyebrows looking crazy, I just got out the pool. One of the most common words we hear regarding creating better memory is a thing called a memory palace, right? Have you heard this term before? Well, what is the function? What is the underlying principle that guides a memory palace? It is the organization of what seems like separate pieces of content. We put them in a logical organization that allows our brain to understand them and to retain them. And so what I'm telling you guys to do when you make these lists, what you're doing is you're doing the opposite of a memory palace. You're making a memory junkyard. Just throw a can over here, throw this over here, throw this over here. And then you wonder why you're struggling to learn. Well, you got this piece over here, this piece over here. There's no logical order to it. When we learn, we need to have order to our learning to facilitate, to help our brain take in the information, organize it, concretize it, and keep it. Otherwise, it's just junk everywhere. And that's what this list creates. Does that make sense, guys? I tried to do that as quickly as I could, get to the 3 reasons. I have to prove to you that these lists are terrible. Do we understand? Do we grasp this? Please, right now, comment in the box. Let me know I'm not alone. Let me know that you see what I'm saying right now and you understand the problematic nature of these missed questions, hard, difficult topics lists. Meryl, hello. Med School Meryl. Okay? We've got to recognize this, guys. So I hope we're recognizing this right now. Bruna, as you start your MCAT prep tomorrow, you're going to have this in your mind. You're going to say, oh, listen, I was going to do that, but now I'm not going to do that because Dr. P says not to do it. So now that you're not going to do that, well, wait a minute, Dr. P, what do I do instead? What should I do instead? Here's what you guys are going to do, okay? Step 1, when you do your questions, okay, there's going to be 1A and 1B. The very first thing I want you to understand, when you do questions, the most important aspect of doing questions is not actually doing questions. It's reviewing questions. The gains in your score and in your knowledge come from reviewing. So important. So however much time you spend doing questions, you should be spending double that time at a minimum reviewing questions. That's the first thing. 1B of that, the corollary of that, is when we do review, too many people are focused solely on reviewing content. So you do a question, you miss a question, you say this question was a biochemistry question, and then you write down, oh, this is TCA cycle in your missed questions list, and you write down and you take a couple notes about TCA cycle. But that's only focusing on the content aspect of the exam. And what if you really break down the MCAT, you'll understand is the MCAT is not actually a content test, which is what makes it so difficult. It is a critical thinking, critical reading, critical analysis exam. So in addition to knowing stuff, yes, you also have to be able to take the test. You have to be able to problem solve. You have to be able to get at the way they're asking the question, the way they construct their answer segments, and you have to dissect all that, and you have to be able to problem solve critically to get the answer. Did you guys know that? Like over half the exam, you can answer with no prior knowledge. It's crazy. So when we review, it's not just about writing down the topic, and this is where those lists get you off track. We instead want to ask ourselves, wait a minute. Whoa. It's obvious I missed the question. It's obvious it's a biochemistry question. The more important thing to say is, wait, why did I miss this question? That's the first question. Then the second question, this is so key. If we want to improve, we have to have a mechanism for improvement. Asking why we missed the question is a start. But the real question that's going to change your score is, how could I have gotten it right? Does everybody hear what I'm saying right now? The first question, okay, sure, it was whatever question. Why did I miss it? The second question, how could I have gotten it right? And then we sit there in that moment This is the test taking aspect, right? So we review for content, but then we review for test taking, which is even more important. And we ask ourselves, how could I have gotten that question right? And now we're analyzing and we're attacking our approach to the test, as Kasim just said. We're attacking our ability to critically get at a question. So even if we don't know necessarily the content, how could I have answered it anyway? And my students, when we do MCAT coaching, they're always like tripping because even though I'm old as heck, I haven't taken the MCAT in a bajillion years, like 4 decades ago, I can always talk intelligently about the topics. I can always get 90, 95% correct when we do MCAT practice passages. Why? Because I don't have to know the content, because I'm that high level of a test taker, because I spent lots of time asking that question. How could I have gotten it not knowing anything? And if you do that, guys, you're going to see the gains in your critical thinking. You're going to see the gains in your score, and you're going to see your ability to get faster, to get more sound, more accurate in your ability to attack the MCAT. And instead of sitting back, like we talk about, we're a dominant bunch, right? We aggressive over here. We're taking it to the MCAT. MCAT ain't got no chance because I ain't waiting, sitting back letting you do your tricks on me. I've got tricks on you. I'm daggering you from afar. I'm sticking you and moving. That's what we're trying to do with the MCAT. Yes? So that's the first thing. The second thing is we're doing this review. We're asking ourselves how we could have got it all and so forth. Instead of making this disorganized list, we're going to take a second. How many of you guys, when you review, you go ahead and you write down rotely what you read when you reviewed it, or you wrote down the note that they have under the question, or you wrote down what was talked about in the lecture? That's the wrong thing to do, because it's hard for us to understand what someone else understands. We have to first understand it ourselves. Hear me and hear me now. A lot of you guys hear something or read something and you regurgitate it right onto the page. And so by doing that, you haven't evolved your learning. Rolf Waffles, what up? You haven't evolved your learning. You haven't deepened your learning. You haven't made your learning sticky and meaningful to you. And the key, again, to learning things and remembering things and being able to apply things effectively on an exam, are you personally understanding it? Are you personally learning it? Saying, oh yes, I saw this, and you write it down is not learning, is not progressing, is not deepening your understanding. So I want you guys to remember this. Before I write, I must ruminate. I must ruminate before I write. Ruminate like a cow, as in to chew. Another word we like to use inside of my group, it's kind of a little X-rated for you guys out here, is we like to fondle the material. Fondling that material. We just work it over. We knead it, right? Knead that dough. We work the material over and over and over again until we've stripped away all the stuff that's unnecessary. We've stripped away all the confusion, and all that's left is a clear understanding of the concept. Does that make sense? We chew it up, we ruminate on it, and then once we have it, then we make our note, because now our note will be more concise. How many of y'all's MCAT notes is way too long because you're not ruminating enough? It'll be concise. How many of you guys MCAT notes like, what am I talking about here? And you have to go back to the book or back to the lecture. You lack clarity. You'll get that when you do this. The third thing is yeah, you write the note. Yes, you know it then, but a week from now, you don't know it. Well, when you write that meaningful note and you took the time to understand it and get clarity on it, you'll have a better retention of it. So when it comes up again, you'll be like, oh yeah, I remember. Bam, got it. Got it. And your score goes up and up and up and up and up and up. That's the second thing. Everybody with me? We had 1A, 1B, and now that's 2. And now I think my kids are coming. Now number 3, when you now have written these amazing notes, when you go back to look at these notes, I don't want you to review your notes, because a review is passive, right? It's like when people say, oh, like, hey, Dr. Pinesett, do you application review? I said, no, I don't do application review. I do application revision, because revision is active. It means I go in there and I slice and dice and modify and upgrade your application. There's a big difference. I don't want an application review. I want my application revised and improved. When you guys go to your notes, we don't just review, right? We don't just review. We revise. So it's an active process. When we look at those notes, We are actively, not just reading rotely. We see a word. We ask ourselves, well, what is that? What comes next? What was before that? What do I know about this? Blah, blah, blah. And we test ourselves. When we go in, we say, listen, do I understand this? Do I understand it well? How can I make this better? How can I make this tighter? How can I make this shorter? How can I make this more meaningful? How can I eliminate the need for this note from my notes? So that way my MCAT notes aren't getting longer, they're getting shorter. They're getting more powerful. They're helping me learn. So now I'm revising, I'm actively engaged in the process of the note taking, of the note reviewing. It's become a revised session. I'm actively looking for ways to make things better, to clarify my understanding. That way I'm leveling up every single repetition I get through my notes. Every single time I see a topic a second time, it's not just re-reviewing and staying at the same level. It's me leveling up, going deeper into that material, having a clearer understanding, right? Having a better understanding how I could apply it, understanding how they're going to ask me about it, and so forth. And so now my knowledge grows, my test taking skills grow, and then ultimately, right, as part of that test taking skills, my speed increases because now it's at the tip of my tongue instead of being all the way in the back of my brain. And for a lot of you guys, how many of you guys run out of time on passages, on sections of the exam? Well, this is the problem. You aren't deep in it, baby. Deep in here. You should be able to rattle it off like your home phone number, right? That's how deep it should be. It shouldn't be like, oh, well, I think it's phone number's out. That's how it needs to be. If you do these things, you'll get to that place. Does that make sense to everybody right now? Like this video right now. Comment and let me know. Bruna, did I open it up? Did I open it up? In 20 minutes, 21 minutes now, we're at 21 minutes, 20 seconds. Did I open your mind to say, oh, snap. Everybody out here is a bunch of jokers, and Dr. Pinesett is giving us some real stuff. He's breaking it down. This makes sense. That don't make no sense. This makes sense. I'm going to start doing this. I'm going to improve my score. I want to get that MCAT score. The MCAT score means a lot to me, and me going to medical school, it matters. And now I gotta show that game up, baby. Get my stuff tight so I can improve my score. Yes, yes? Perfect. Thank you, Bruna. Yes. I'm glad it helped. Hear me now. My MCAT course is on sale right now, limited time. $97 in the box below. Click below right now. It's on sale for limited time. Get my entire MCAT program, guys. It'll blow your gosh darn mind. Blow your socks off. Boop. Wow. You're like, wow, I was going about this all wrong. This is way better, way simpler, I feel much more confident about my prep, guys. So click on the link below. Get in there right now. And everyone have a wonderful Sunday. I hope you guys are Sunday. I apologize for sneaking this in on you guys, but this is a reason. Guys, if you're not already, subscribe to this channel. You better toggle that bell for live notifications because I be coming on here random. I just decided to go live 15 minutes ago. I was inspired by coaching that we had today, and I was like, I'm going live. So if you ain't in, you ain't in, right? And you guys got better today, and so you don't want to stop that betterment. You want to keep that betterment going. Take a second, subscribe, turn on the notifications. Bradford, thank you for saying that. Get the course. Yes, it is a game changer, right? My course, my MCAT course, if you guys don't have it, it's a game changer, guys. It opens up so much for you guys to see how you can do your MCAT different, how you can do it better, and get that score you need. I appreciate you guys as always joining me. We're going to have new videos every week. I am back and fired up clearly to bring you guys information. So I'll be coaching directly to you guys. Yes, if you guys have questions, I didn't see your question, Khalid, so it must be up there in the box. I missed it, but guess what? I have an Ask Dr. Pinesett opportunity on my website. If you get to my website, thestudydoc.com, you can click on the tab. You can leave me a voicemail message. I will take that voicemail message. I will listen to it personally, and I will coach directly to you on the Study Doc Show, on this YouTube channel, on the podcast, bringing you a full, in-depth answer to your question. So get at me. Get at me. All right. Thank you for smashing the like button. Thank you for subscribing, and thank you for that notification bell. I appreciate it, Wolf Waffles. Everybody have an awesome, outstanding Sunday. Enjoy your evening. I'm going to go have dinner. I can hear my kids. They're coming to get me for dinner. Everyone have a wonderful evening. I'll see you guys. New video coming Wednesday. Might be live. Might be a recorded video. I don't even know, but I will see you on Wednesday, y'all. Everybody have a good evening. How do we always end every video? No excuses. Just dominate, guys. See you guys next time. That's it for another episode of the Study Doc Show. Show your love by smashing the like button and commenting in the box below. Today is the day, guys. No more excuses, no more complaining. You're going to take your future into your own hands. You're going to dominate. You're going to be successful. I challenge you. What are you going to do today to make your life better? Get to my website, thestudydoc.com. Grab a free ebook. sign up for a free webinar. And if you're really ready to transform, enroll in one of my life-changing courses or coaching programs. You have greatness inside you. Let me show you how to unlock it so you can dominate and make your dreams a reality. No excuses, just dominate.